All right, let's delve into when it's good to eat muscle builders and when it's not. And it has to do a little bit with how they're made because these are the materials, the building blocks of your muscles. I mean, that's why we call them muscle builders, right? So you're talking about things like chicken, and you're talking about eggs and cheese and legumes. So that's like kidney beans, black beans, chickpeas, lentils, and all of those on the muscle builder list. Now, when you have those foods, they're not coming just with the building blocks of muscles unless it's like a pure protein powder. So when I have something like chicken, it's also coming with some of the body fat of the animal. That's what it is. And in this case, it's actually coming with some sauce. So there's going to be some oils in the sauce. So you have to think about that. So often, really, really often when we're having muscle building material, we are not just having pure muscle building material. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And the actual muscle building material itself is really stuck together in a way that our bodies, in order to absorb those materials and build muscles, need some time. So when we chew and we swallow that food and it goes into our stomach, it does need time to break into little itty bitty pieces, and then those little itty bitty pieces are then put into our body and around our muscles right in the right time so that they can rebuild our muscles in a way that's stronger, more impactful, makes your sport better, whatever you're doing to improve yourself, then the muscle building materials will be there at the right time if you're eating them at the right time. However, there are some times when it's going to hurt you to be eating muscle builders. And that's when you do not want to be processing them into their little itty bitty pieces. So I'm talking about the window of about 3 hours, 2 hours, and especially 1 hour before you do a heavy training or you do a sport where it's going to be a lot of movement. You don't necessarily want to be having muscle building materials processing like the chicken. I don't want to be having it sitting in my stomach at that time because it's going to take energy away from my sport, and it's also going to make me feel heavier. And so that is not a feeling that I want. I want those materials to be already processed. And then if they're already processed, they're actually into my bloodstream and able to get to the place like my muscles where I want them. So the time not to have muscle building materials would be really close to training because you just don't have the time to digest. Now, you do want to be having them right after training. There's this lovely window, we like to say, where your muscles are primed in order to absorb the muscle building materials. So all of those little bitty pieces, you want them there after. So really important time to have your muscle building materials after. And as you have been learning, you do want to have muscle building materials at every meal if possible. And another key moment could be before bed. There's some science behind that as well. So just keep in mind, right before a training, having a whole lot of those muscle building materials and look at the list would not be ideal.